kind of grab your attention.
So I think we should have our backs to it now. I think we should carry on, sit down here. Do you think, Carl? How are you feeling, love?
I still feel sick. I feel like I've got a knot in my stomach, like I could throw up any second, but I stood up and it actually hurt when I stood up, but it feels better standing up, actually.
Okay. So, Billy, are these two women still here?
Yeah, they're here.
Okay.
Well, I think also, as you said, they'll catch us unawares.
They will?
Yeah, I think so. And maybe not on camera, unfortunately.
Oh, for God's sake.
Yeah.
What do you mean not on camera?
Well, maybe they'll wait till the opportunity is right, and then...
Not when we're at home.
Could do.
What do you mean?
They could do, quite possibly. That's how evil they are.
What do you mean that... Wait a minute. Whoa. You mean that these two could actually follow us home?
Yeah.
We've never had anybody tell us that before.
One of them in particular, I mean, I've said this before, if you mock the spirits, certain kinds of people, these two, one of them in particular is quite malevolent, you know, in the way she approaches things. They had a grudge about the justice, the judge who actually sent them to the gallows. And Maggie must have collapsed in the cells here. She must have became overwhelmed with it all, and she was the weak one, Margaret. But I think the other one's the vicious one, who would...
This is Kitty?
Yeah, Catherine.
Catherine.
Yeah. So I think that she's...
Did you say her surname used to be Higgins or
Well, Margaret Higgins is the other one, that's Maggie.
Right.
And then Catherine is Flanagan.
Oh, right.
Now she is... there's a man with them as well. I'm aware of a man, but this guy does not appear to be happy with them. I presume he was one that was murdered by them. And they were married several times, so they must have married purposely to ensure and
let's keep going
and do the dastardly deed.
We're protected though.
Yeah.
We've got our own protection. You know about mocking these spirits, evil things. You know they'll come home, and so if you mock them, they're going to come home to me or Carl or the people who've mocked the spirits. It's
a misconception that they could harm you physically, but they can, you know...
So what would they do to me and Carl then, say?
They could frighten you.
Okay.
I think what's happening to Carl already is something that's produced by them.
I've got to feel, I actually feel like shit. I feel, and it's worse since I sat down. When I got up and I walked over there and I walked around there and I felt a lot better.
Why don't you get up and walk round? Why don't you get up and walk round?
I've got a headache. I feel like I could throw up.
Why don't you get up and walk round?
Okay.
You get up and walk round. Why don't you stand in the middle of the hall?
All right.
Yeah? Well,
see what happens.
Yeah. Okay. Margaret, Catherine, the gentleman that's with them, the little girl, please come forward. Come towards the centre of this circle. Do something else. Make noises around us. Throw things. Do something to let us know that you are here. Touch Carl. Okay. Throw things. Pick up the books on the floor. Why don't you try and stack them in a nice, neat pile? That would be good. Come on. There's what?
There's footsteps down there.
Is there? Come on.
Can you not hear that?
Yeah, I can hear them.
Has the temperature dropped a bit?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it has gone down.
Yeah.
Remember, Carl did just exit down that staircase and open the door.
Ah.
Could be a breeze coming through.
Could be. Come towards us now. Come towards Carl.
With a whimper.
Yeah. I didn't hear the whimper.
Could I mean it so much?
Can you make a noise with your voice? If you hate us, if you don't want us here and you want us to die, then do something. Do something to prove that you want us to die. We believe you, we believe that you hate us, but just make a noise. or do something, or throw something, just so we know you mean it. You really mean it.
She wants to know what's it worth.
Is that what she's saying to you?
What's it worth?
What's it worth? What's it worth? I don't know.
What can you give them? I mean, there's nothing you can physically give them, is there?
She's being facetious, I think. But also, I've just realised that the guy, his name's Billy, and I think that might have been one of their husbands who she done him in. So, but he's not malicious in any way, and he's like just watching over the event as though he's making sure they don't do any harm. So he's not a part of their doings. But I think something should happen. I really do.
Well, they're being very quiet at the moment.
Something should happen tonight while we're here.
Yeah, I'm hoping, it would be good.
What's that? Bloody hell, Karen. Crying out loud.
Did they kill all the husbands?
They killed, yeah, but they seem to have killed more than that.
That wasn't, Carl didn't move there.
No, that was a very loud bang. You all right, Carl?
Yeah, I feel a bit better, but it's gone very cold in here.
Come on, ladies, do something.
Very cold.
Yeah, the temperature is dropping.
Yeah, it is.
Can you affect the electricity? I know you're saying what's it worth. Come on, girls. Have a bit of a laugh. Have a giggle. Come on now. Have a laugh with you. Come on.
Nachos.
Do they like that?
Yeah.
Come on. Kitty. Ow, fuck. Oh, fuck. Shit. Are you all right?
Did somebody giggle then?
I didn't hear the giggle.
Carl.
Where did that hit you, Carl?
2 hit me in the head.
2 in the head?
2 right in the head.
Hey, would the webcam have got that?
Should have done.
The webcam should have got that. No.
There's nobody living at the top.
The webcam should have got that. Definitely should have got that. Can we make sure, I'm talking to everybody in the gallery, can we make sure that we look at the webcams, please? Somebody talk to me.
We'll, of course, be checking those webcams, Yvette, and the clock is ticking. What a frustrating moment to break off from the vigil. Malevolent spirits, objects being thrown around. We must, of course, apologise for the bad language you heard there. Sometimes pops out in extreme circumstances. Brian Shepherd is with us, our medium, clairvoyant and psychic artist. You said right at the start, powerful presences and some kind of evil energy, some malevolence.
Yeah, very, very, very capable of doing this sort of thing. Moving objects, the balls that we've seen, just laterally they're being thrown. Very, very capable indeed.
Would they be spirits that would have the run of this place, do you think, Brian, or would they concentrate somewhere specific?
Well, when I came in first, it seemed to be specific, but I do believe it's quite generalised. So yeah, use that terminology, the run of the place, sure, I'll go for that.
Thank you very much, Brian. Now, we have had some very specific names, and we've had Leslie Smith and Fred Back working hard on that. What have you got for us, guys? Leslie, what about those names?
Absolutely bang on hit. And if we were searching for evil, which is what we've been doing, we found it. These 2 women, known as the Black Widows, were both executed in 1884. They were utterly appalling, disgusting women. In fact, not only killing husbands, but one of them, Catherine, killed her own son for £71 insurance money. He was only 22. They killed children, many people. They used fly papers to get the arsenic. And from that arsenic, they put it in drinks, which gave terribly bad stomach cramps, made people feel very sick. They didn't die straight away. It took days. People thought it was dysentery. Some of the effects that Carl is talking about is there. And I can tell you that when you look at the details of these women's lives and the trials of what they did, they are absolutely terrifying. In fact, 2 of the worst characters I've ever seen in all my years on the show.
In fact, Fred, you found out these were notorious for many years afterwards, weren't they?
Well, they were so infamous that their effigies were placed in Madame Tussauds in London, and they remained there till 1984. So they were quite wicked.
So would they have been known more as Maggie and Kitty then, do you think, Leslie?
Yes, without doubt. They came out of the Irish community, just as been described by Billy. They claimed that they didn't kill others, and then some said, yes, they did. There's no doubt at all. They killed people, they did it, and they died most terribly painfully. One of them a little girl, but not 2 years of age, probably 10 or 11, her own stepdaughter by the husband she'd already killed. These women were absolutely brutal, and they died. Yes, there was a fainting fit before one of them went to the gallows, and one can only hope that they ask for forgiveness, because we in society would find it very hard to forgive people who behave like that.
And what is remarkable there is the way that Carl seemed to get that sense of something horrible in the air, being poisoned, that choking sensation, and which again one may have got from arsenic poisoning.
And may I also say, Lucrezia Borgia, absolutely right. It was the great Italian white arsenic poison, got very cheaply, as I say, from fly papers. Don't try this at home. And when they dug the bodies up, they would know it was arsenic because they would be in good condition.
Thank you both very much for the moment. Now, you've been our eyes and ears this evening, folks, at home. Lots of information coming in via the webcams here with the latest on the interactive front. Julian Clegg. Julian.
Thanks, Paul. Now, first up, just to say, a different question was on our website earlier this evening. Sorry about that, but if you answer the question correctly, don't worry, you're still in the draw for our big competition. I'll give you all the details from 8 o'clock tomorrow night, and the competition's open until January the 23rd, so plenty of time to get in touch. Now, on the webcams, let's quickly go through those and see what the trend of the evening was. Webcam 1, the civil court, let's look at it there. The most orbs have been seen on this camera, interestingly, in reports of flashing lights. That's webcam 1. Webcam 2, in the small hall, groups of people appear to be dancing as a theme there tonight, and men in military uniforms. Webcam 3, the holding cell. This webcam had many reports of sounds being heard, moans, crying and bangs. Figures seen walking through the wall there, interestingly. And webcam 4, the corridor, lots of people mentioning a dog waiting for the team, maybe a guard dog perhaps, and several sightings of a horse as well on webcam 4. General themes of the evening, the names Lily, Mary and Edward, and a dark figure following Carl looking over his shoulder. Thanks to everyone who gets in touch with the forums. For example, Kaylis, lovely to hear from you. Glad you've enjoyed the show tonight. Happy birthday for the 6th, by the way. And we always talk about records on Interactive, but I reckon tonight's one of the most popular nights of Most Haunted Live parties. So just to mention a few, Matt and Charlotte in Banbury having a Most Haunted Live party tonight. Tara in Barnsley enjoying the show there. Charlotte, Matt and Lucy and Chester in Oxford hiding behind a pillows party they've been having, and a party for 2 in Guernsey with Carl and Louise, and 20 people having a party down in Devon. Lizzie, lovely to hear from you. And Paul in Paisley, thanks for your message and your Most Haunted Live party, and Sue, Scott and Jade in Weymouth as well. And one more party for the moment. We're having a Most Haunted Live party tonight in Nottingham, say Glyn, Wendy and Jamie. Finally, Lizzie in Oxford says St George's Hall is haunted. I've been there. Please tell the team. Thanks for that. More from Interactive tomorrow night. Paul, back to you.
Thank you very much, Julian. Well, the journey of tonight's investigation started right here. It's going to end here tonight. Would you welcome back, please, to the heart of St George's Hall, Yvette Fielding and the team, Carl Beattie, Dr Kieran O'Keefe, Billy Roberts is with them, the crew and our audience member, Louise Philpotts. Welcome back, and what a night! How are you feeling, first of all, Yvette? How are you feeling?
Very frustrated, if I'm honest. You always want more. When you're ghost hunting, you always want more. I don't know if anything more happened here in the studio, but...
We did have that audience member very early on who got overwhelmed. She okay? She's fine, apparently, but had to leave the room, overwhelmed by what had happened. Kieran, that experiment I thought was remarkable tonight. You said it should have gone into a pyramid form, those dropping balls. It very clearly went to the far left and the far right. Do you have any explanation for that?
Well, like I said, we have to be very careful. It's just one trial. But there's enough there that normally you'd expect randomly it would be in a pyramid. And yet we've got 2 effects there, 2 channels that were full. I don't have any explanation. I'd like to run more trials.
And then lots of activity, those balls flying around, hitting people.
Yeah, that, again, is not controlled enough for me. There's always going to be an alternative explanation when you've got objects being thrown and you don't have footage of it starting and finishing. But still, interesting enough that we get it on Poltergeist night.
But we don't know if we've caught it, because we're not sure if we've got the webcam.
We're checking the webcams even as we speak, and we're going to give you that information as soon as it comes through. But they're checking that. Now, we did get you, though, Carl, on webcam, having to fly out of that room. I know you're a big, brave, butch fella. You left that room earlier on, then you felt unwell, and then something hit you on the back of the head in that other room. Why do you think they're picking on you tonight?
I don't know. I mean, Stuart and I usually go off and we kind of antagonise these spirits as much as we can to them to do stuff, and I think that's why a lot of things seem to happen to us. But tonight there was this I was almost trying to will it so much to happen because I wanted something really big to happen. Obviously I didn't want to be thrown up on camera, but I did want something really, really big to happen. And the last bit, I mean, what happened on when I was sitting in the chair, that something grabbed the back of my neck and something said to me, help me. And it was very clear in my ear. That's why I left the chair originally. And then in that room, I stood in the middle and two things hit my head. One is here, and it actually feels like it's burning now. I don't know. Yeah, but hopefully we've caught that on the webcam.
Well, obviously, if you need medical attention, you get that straight after
Absolutely.
the show. Stuart also experienced that Rocky in the wheelchair. Can you very quickly hold that to Louise, audience member? Louise, did you enjoy it tonight? Were you frightened?
I did. It was fabulous. Not really, actually. It was just more enjoyment than anything.
Well, thank you very much for helping us out this evening.
Thank
Give them all a
you.
round of applause. They've been fantastic. And we're now going to take a look, folks. Pay close attention. Here they are, tonight's highlights.
Do you mean us harm? You do. Who's that? Who's that?
Something. Help me, don't take me.
Hey! Something was thrown then. Was that you? Throw something again.
I can hear whispering. I'm sorry, I've just heard whispering there.
But there was what I was hearing, get out.
But what's going on here? It's very, very odd.
So just describe what you saw.
It was very slow.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Ow, fuck. Oh, fuck. Shit. Are you alright?
Wow, what a night, what a start to a 7-night journey. You guys better get some rest tonight. Just time for me to say thank you to a few people. Huge thanks to the crew and staff here at St George's Hall who made tonight possible. Give them some applause, please. And of course, keep the applause going. The divine and luscious Leslie Smith and Fred Batt, our demonologist. Thanks to them. Julian Clegg and his interactive team, without whom none of the information you lot at home see would be got to us. But above all, huge applause for their bravery, their expertise and their accuracy. Yvette Fielding and the team, Kieran O'Keefe, Carl Beattie, Brian Shepherd, Billy Roberts, Stuart and the rest of the gang. Thank you so much. Wow, what a start to an amazing, amazing 7 nights of paranormal investigation. Very quickly, Yvette, one last question to you. How are you feeling now? You've got 6 nights ahead of you. How are you feeling now?
Bring it on, I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Bring it on, she says. We are going to bring it on. Thanks to Virgin One viewers. Watch us tomorrow night from 8 on Livy. We'll be back then.